and this is the Underground. Underground World News Live, here for this February 19th, 2025. What's going on? Much love. Good to see everybody out there. Yeah, go ahead and get a mic check in the house. That's right. All trolls will be dismantled, so mods, have the band hammers ready for anyone that wants to get out of hand. London in the house. Oklahoma checking in. The smoke in the house. You know that. Steve, Kenny G, Pixie, good to see you. Mayhem. Much love, Deanne, D. White, everybody. Thank you. Everyone at the Lone Warrior in the house. Mod you up, brother. You ain't, want to thank, Tacos, Tooge, Kev Bar, Hoodie. Everybody for, sharing the stream. It's appreciated to the fullest. Let me just get Warrior. Thank you, Big D. Checking the chat there for the feedback. All right, everything looks good. Much love, Sizzy Q, Joe, all the fam. Hope everybody's doing good. As always, we've got plenty to discuss. If you got anything you need to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. And you can at me in the chat at dabu77. Also, make sure to follow me on X for the latest and breaking news and all that good stuff. North Carolina, everybody out there, good to see everybody, yeah. We're going to start off here real quick with an update on space. We've got a Falcon 9 re-entry over Europe that's caused some stir. People were not expecting it. We've got all these satellites and re-entries happening constantly that you're going to see more and more of this. We're seeing SpaceX satellites coming back into re-entry every day at a crazy rate. IQ, thank you for gifting all the memberships there, and for everyone that just received them, welcome to the Underground. Much love to everybody out there. If you guys see any of these events or catch it on video, anything like that, let me know. We've got not only those incoming, but we've got some close objects. Anytime they come closer than the moon, I like to point them out, and especially if they're due today. We've got one due today and another one on the 21st, both coming in closer than the moon. Whenever that happens, I kind of put out a heads up that you could see an uptick in fireball activity and all that good stuff. So, yeah, just heads up there. And going to start off here with Arizona. We've got 2 dead after a mid-air collision between 2 planes in Arizona. We've been seeing a ton of just crazy stuff in regards to flights. All the crashes. So we've got another one here. This was a mid-air collision. This was in Marana, resulting in 2 confirmed deaths. There was a Landcare and a Cessna involved in this. The Landcare had 2 people, as did the Cessna 172. They say that the Landcare collided in midair with the Cessna at the Morongo Regional Airport in Arizona around 8:25, and that this is an uncontrolled field. So that is an interesting detail to add to all this. An uncontrolled field, meaning someone's not going to be in the tower at all times. Like, this is a field that, like, they're just going to have to land on their own, park it, get out, get in a car, someone's going to pick them up or whatever. There are airports like that. There's a lot of smaller, really small airports all across the country that are like that, where people can just drop in and they can land, and you know, it's in a secure location and all that, and then they can get picked up from there. I've got several out here in the country in the mountains. As long as you got a space to get a plane down. Um, but right here, this is just crazy having another mid-air collision, but without having anyone in a tower. You're like in all visuals. I don't know, man. If you have a lot of activity or something like that, I feel like you need someone in there. I mean, it's just one of the things. If you're coming into an airport that's even slightly busy whatsoever, it should have someone to talk to down at the bottom over the radio. It make me feel a whole lot safer, right? And if you did, you could maybe, avoid things like this. I've been reporting on a lot of air accidents, crashes, all that. Just an uptick as of late, man, with these events. Now, they say that 2 people did die in this, 2 fatalities. There's no word on if it was 2 people in one plane or if it was one from each. They didn't specify in this crash in Arizona. So, as I get more information on that, I'll keep you guys posted. Now, here's one right here. Check this out. I put this behind it because it says exposed the less safe, more expensive green airport towers that Biden stuck us with. So, again, I was talking about the incidents. We saw the Black Hawk helicopter that collided with the American Airlines over the Potomac, and then Philadelphia. When you look at all this stuff, it's like, what's really going on here? Delta's had a lot of issues. We've seen the doors get blown out, windows, wing components fail, engine failure, all types of stuff. Them nosediving. But apparently Biden and them decided to run what they did to everything else. They went through this whole thing and destroyed it. And instead of having effective towers put up, the way they should be, they wanted to cut cost and end up making some of these airports have no people at them, just like the one I was just talking about, where we had a mid-air collision. You need people at these airports if there's going to be a lot of activity. It's different if, every week or so, a plane might land there, and you don't have no one there. It's a little bit different, but if it's, busy, decently busy, well, here they go saying that everything that Biden did here took away from the money and the funding to be able to do this the correct way. For what it's worth, what's going on? Looking out there, people are saying 5x5. Like, what happened? I don't get it. I don't know. Skipping out on the volume, huh? I don't get it. People said launching, refreshing. I don't know. Usually, if it's something on my end, it's the OBS usually, but try to give a refresh. People saying the sound was skipping, closed it out, reopened it. It's working fine now. All right. All right, just watching the chat there. All right, no problems there. No issues. 5x5 sounds good. All right, gonna keep it pushing. Pope Francis. You talked about him as of late. And thank you, Lakeville, for the super chat. Appreciate it to the fullest. Jesuit Pope Francis in the hospital. He has pneumonia on both lungs. People starting to freak out a little bit about his health. I remember when a lot of people said, and thank you, Crown Jewels, a lot of people said that this is the last pope, and all that stuff with prophecy and all this other stuff, but the shape that he's in, he's not in good shape. Just from what I've seen of him, it doesn't look like he's got too much longer on the clock. If he makes it out of this, double pneumonia here, he'd be really lucky at his age and his condition. I mean, he's always being pushed around in a wheelchair as it is. He's 88 years old. And I don't know what's going to happen then. If he gets into really crazy situations here where his health is just they're calling it fragile already and deteriorating. What's going to happen? Thank you, Bone Score. Much love. Remember why he got into this position to begin with. You had Ratzinger, Benedict, in bad health. And for the first time, like in our lifetimes, we had like a double pope situation where the pope was still alive, Ratzinger, but he steps aside. And he's living inside of the Vatican in the catacombs. And then this man stepped in, the Jesuit Pope Francis, the fresher face and all that. But now he getting up there. So are we going to see another face, another individual step onto the scene? And there's been, rightfully so, some criticism of him, everything with the church that's been going on. The way that he's running it. The things that he's doing, he called for migrants to flood into all of Europe. But then when it came to the migrants coming up to the Vatican has a huge wall around it. And they were very hypocritical. They didn't let none of those people in. Yet they were calling on Ireland and the UK and everyone else to do it, or it's shame on them. Well, they did it. And that's chaos in all those places. And oddly enough, the one country that it's made a bold initiative now to turn the tide is Italy, is their leadership. Some things happening, though, in Italy. They have gone after some of the mafia a record amount here recently. And I don't think that the way the Vatican's being ran, because it's been infiltrated by evil. Exactly. Thank you, Jeff. It's just the deeper you dive into the whole thing, it's so dark. In so many ways, so many different levels. It's a synagogue, and I don't know. It's just interesting times to see if something happens with him. Who is this next character going to be? Here on the world stage. I mean, this is a high position out here. Y'all know that. And he has leadership that's above him. He answers to the Black Pope, which is a very real thing. Just look it up. I say this sometimes. People are like, you say Black Pope and he don't exist. Like, the heck he don't. Like, the Black Pope is very real. I remember back when I first got involved in figuring out, everything with the Jesuit leadership and all that. It was Peter Hans Kolvenbach was a leader back then. It's changed hands several times, but yeah, that's if you don't know nothing about that, and you don't know nothing about the control and the power structure of how this whole thing works. When you hear that these people within our government, or whoever it is, that they're Jesuits, this is who they bow down to behind the curtain. Do you understand? Their top man is the Black Pope. And like again, just somebody going to a Catholic church, they're not going to be told or taught or any of this stuff. But maybe you figured it out. Anyhow, anything happens with him, I'll update. Now, let's turn to some tariff news, some economic news, some stuff here with Trump in China. As I've stated, these tariffs are not what they seem. Not all the time. When he puts tariffs on certain things, ultimately, we the people are going to be paying for it big time. Enigma, thank you for the coffees. Let me turn it down there. Much love and respect right back at you. Appreciate it to the fullest. As I have said before, and as we've seen in his last presidency, when he puts tariffs on things, it could be like refrigerators, washing machines, dryers, things like that, which we saw last time. And they went up like $100 and some on each unit. And that's the example that I give for what is about to happen to all these products. Like you only saw it in small form last time. Now he's Mr. Tariff. You see, so it's like a sleight of hand. Like, oh, we're not going to do this. We're doing away with all these taxes and we're saving all this money. But and he says we're putting tariffs on Mexico. We're putting tariffs on China and Canada. That means that anything that you buy from there is going to be more expensive. Now, if a company moves its headquarters to the United States, they can dodge these tariffs, and you could then buy from them, even if they have a warehouse in Canada, you see, and they need to ship it to you, and you won't pay the tariff. So this is all a power move. That's all Trump's about here. Is the Trump card, is power play, power everything, and with this one, with China. China is the only country on the planet that stands a chance at being a leader here on this world stage, outside of the United States, and one of the only ones out there that threatens anything. So we're not. This isn't a single polar world order as it's been forever. It's changed. It's changed. It's widely accepted and seen that way. China has grown into a mammoth beast, but China can't really survive without the United States. The United States can't survive, so to speak, without China. It's been this way forever. I mean, just flip over any little item you've got around you anywhere. Chances are it's just made in China. It's been like this forever and ever, and you know this, especially with the electronics and things like that. It just is. And to know that they've got back doors into all these things these days, it's heavily dangerous. It's one thing to have your own government spying on you, but to have the Chinese that in a war setting be coming in to kill, like, look, they liquidated their own people, took the guns and killed tens of millions of their own people. Like, what do you think that they will do to you? They don't believe in Jesus, okay? Yeshua, the Messiah. They have their own set of beliefs. They're brainwashed by the CCP. And I'm telling you, all these youngins coming across this border, over 1 million that slid in here, that are still missing. That's my biggest fear, is those guys, those cats. Because they can do a lot of damage up in here. Yeah, that red dragon. They're here. So how is China going to topple the United States? Well, there's all kinds of different ways I guess things could go. I don't really think that they have to do a whole lot. I think the whole thing's already planned. And really, it's just to make way for this. I feel like there's a series of big events that's going to happen, and now the world is a stage. As I've said before, Xi Jinping, the president or the emperor for life of China, was groomed by Henry Kissinger. Very good friends with him and major influence on him. If you don't know these things, man, you should look them up, and then you'll see that this whole thing is a sham. This whole world is a stage, man. And they've made it this way. They've designed it for the dragon to rise at this point. And for the United States to fall through a series of catastrophic events. But this doesn't mean that it's going to go away and be dead and not exist. It's just going to fall from its perch, similar to how the UK did. And the UK's money. It used to be the king dog. And then it fell off, but it didn't die completely. It's still used to this day. You see, it just was not used as the world's reserve currency. And to get the dollar where it's at, they had to go around the globe forcing everyone to use it at the barrel of a gun. What China is lined up to do here through BRICS and even with their own money is back their currency with gold, which has been talked about. It was talked about in the Reagan administration too, maybe we should try to do that to save our currency. You back it by gold, more people will use it. They won't just dump it, which is true. But what they come to find out is that they don't have the gold that they think that they have, because the Federal Reserve has control of it and always has. And I don't know, all this talk about let's go see what's inside of Fort Knox and blah, blah, blah. And then people flipping out saying that it was flooded this week and acting like they flooded it on purpose. That was going to stop them. The waters weren't going to recede in a couple days. But yes, it's a very good question. What's in there? And let's get it over with. Elon says, I want to go and I want to live stream it. Well, the world could be in for a shocker. But here's the thing. If they do this, it's going to be just like what they've been doing every day for the past several weeks. They'll come out and they'll say, oh, Doge is saving all this money. It's winning, winning, winning. Right? They're finding corruption that was on all these levels. Money that was going here and there. But it was going to a black. They don't know how or where it went to. It's that's garbage. We're going to go through some stories here and you're going to see. We're going to call them out on some things here that obviously they should be able to track. And they're not saying a single word. They're not mentioning anyone going down or going to jail. Which is a huge red flag. They're saying all these things oh, looky what we found, looky what we found. But not a mention of arresting those that did it. It's sleight of hand, black magic. I say it all the time. It's what's happening at large scale. So what happens if they come out and they tell you all the gold is missing? And thank you, Julie, for the coffee. All the gold is missing in Fort Knox. It's gone. Rockefeller and them did sell it and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. It's gone. What are the people going to do? You're going to protest? See, that's what that's the big mind twist they've got on everybody here is, who are you going to revolt? Are you going to revolt against Trump and Elon? They're the saviors. They're the ones that just told you about it. Who are you going to revolt against? Who are you going to revolt against? Do you see the game here? Do you see the magic trick? They're coming out telling you all these things that are missing every single day, but they won't mention who's going to go to jail for it. They won't dare even bring it up. So they come out and tell you the gold's missing too. What are you going to do about it? They're going to tell you these guys are long dead. They did it. It's been empty for decades. Cobwebs. What are people going to do? Nothing. They never do nothing. They're going to sit there and they're going to wait for the next tweet. You're going to sit there and wait for them to open their mouths and say something else. And just, this starts to get sickening. Disgusting sickening. Watching these people just being led like this. And brother, thank you for the coffees. Amen. Much love. I don't know. It's an interesting question. Is it empty or not? Let's get the speculation over with. Everybody's got a right to an opinion, right? But let's just get it over with, right? Get in there. Live stream it like you said. Don't go talking all this crap. You gave the people what's looking like some wins, right? But don't get lost in it. Don't start saying these things and then not coming through with them. Like they announced this tariff thing, this external revenue service, and they jumped the gun. They're like, oh, the IRS is done. Or taxing everyone's going to be done. But Trump never said that. It's not official right now. Like, if you're going to be saying something, be prepared to back it up, is my thing. Just like the talk, like he's come out tonight, like they're talking like, oh, we're going to be saving so much money. We're down for sending everybody a $5,000 check, all Americans. It's like, okay, then do it. Do it, big dog. Was able to go in there and go through decades worth of files, literally in days, and audit it in days. Okay? Which, are you kidding me? When you sit down and think about all this, what it takes just to go to one place, one business, and to legitimately audit it, and we're going to get into that here in a little bit. True investigations and all take months and months and months and months. And we're going to look at it, what the process is. So all these people are like, oh, it's AI, it's AI. It's like, it's AI, it's AI. It's just like last week. Everyone was regurgitating and saying the same thing. DEI, 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 DEI. It's like, dude, when I see this in the feeds and I see the wave of it, and I see all the people that do it, it's like it's sickening. I could see the control structure. I could see that they've got them led. It's everywhere. I can see the waves of them. It's going to be the death of this whole thing and of the country. They've got them. They got them right where they wanted them. Got them right where they wanted them. It's scary as it's ever been. Yep. But they're the heroes, right? There's too much winning going on. You know, you say anything against it, you're a bad guy. You know, or something like that. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you stupid crap. Like, I ain't bound down to Trump and his red hats, to Elon and his Terminator bots. Like, none of here. Like, everyone's free to their own choice here. But, like, you got to be honest. If not, man, you're going to lose your integrity. If you can't call these cats out where it needs to be called out, then that's just not honest. It's funny. I got cats that I know personally that it's crazy. That, like, if I put things out on X and I'm firing hard, calling something out, like, they won't touch it. They'll, like, look the other way, especially if it's on Trump or anything like that. Man, I turn around, I put something out like an earthquake just popped off. You know, they'll share it, this and that. I could turn around, but Trump and them, you know, blah, blah, blah. Nope, they won't touch it. Won't share it. It's just like, okay, I see you. I see you. I see you, man. Like, this is getting... Anyhow, Trump warns that 25% tariffs are going to be coming on cars, on your drugs, on any chips for any trucks, any vehicles, any computers, any phones, any iPads, anything. 25% tariffs coming, meaning you're going to pay more for that product if that country is not headquartered here in the United States. Which a lot of them are not going to be. They're not going to move here But that's what he's trying to flex and do there. It also is a strong point against any American company. Like, bring your headquarters back home, is what Trump is trying to do, you see. And it works in many, many ways. But on cars, trying to get some import or something, you're going to be paying. But on your drugs, on your prescription drugs to get by that you need to survive and all that, that's the biggest thing right here. So people, it's going to go up. Some people used to insurance covering everything, but you just never know. Yeah, these past few years, it seemed like, oh, insurance won't cover that, won't cover this, won't cover that, won't cover that. Are you jabbed? Oh, it won't cover that. It's like, what? Like, I had to come out of my pocket for major procedures, man, because I had health things going with me. Couldn't get answers for and all this other stuff. And like, on the way through, any insurance would cover it as if you were going into a facility, and the first thing they would say is, are you jabbed? If not, we're sticking this thing up in your brain, through your nose, and like, I wouldn't have none of it. So I had to come out of pocket and go to some hole-in-the-wall place just that would accept me to get it done. And can you imagine when they implement the beast system? Huh? So many people just going to jump on it and just going to turn and look the other way. I see it now. They're going to have so many excuses. All these people talk this big game about the end time, the beast system, and being right with God, and all the Jesus this and that. And they go right on the beast system. It's like every one of you frauds. Yeah, that's right. They go onto that beast system. And you'll know it when you make the choice, I guess. And you can hate me, hate whoever, hate God, whoever you want to cuss. It's your own fault that you chose to go on it. And that's what's coming. It's the heat test. I didn't make this place. Don't blame me. I was born in this mess. But you're going to be put to the test. Everyone claiming pure blood and everything else. When the real one goes down, bird flu, whatever it is coming. So many people just going to do it because they had to. They're going to say, feed my family, this and that garbage. Whatever. You ain't got to explain nothing to me. Like, your actions, you'll tell them by their fruits. I see you down shopping after it's all implemented. I see you going in and out of these stores and coming in and out with goods. Well, then I know you got the mark. You ain't got to say nothing. Some of us ain't stupid. We can see you from a mile away. And we'll know. Every single person that took it. You can try to hide it, play it off, this and that. No. It's going to be most of society, so that's the scary part about it. Anyone that ever thought that they were really going to do this is going to ride this thing out in the end, disconnected from society. That's it. That's the choice. Go on the beast system, which is about to be rammed down everyone's throat, or not. That is the biggest test that's about to come. The biggest test. There's about to be a reset, though, in the mix of it. In the mix of it, the fading away of fiat and the full onslaught of digital currency. I checked into a live stream today. It was Trump in Miami. Owen Schroyer had shared it in the feed. And whenever I checked it out, and the very first words out of his mouth were about cryptocurrency. The very first words out of the President of the United States' mouth was he's rambling on about cryptocurrencies. Then, of course, he went on in AI and all this other stuff, but the whole blockchain thing is here. And here's one as well. You remember this. Remember this. They clip it, archive it. Do you know what the answer is going to be to all this? 4 point whatever trillion missing, but we don't know where it went. You want to know what the answer forever to fix that is going to be? Do you know what it is? I think you do. I think somewhere inside you, you do. We got a big event coming here. I have pure blood tattooed on my forearm. Hey, much love. Look, we are in, it's blockchain. You got that right. Who cares? Just waiting for someone to say it. It's blockchain. There, thank you. I didn't think anybody was going to get it, but you got it. I wish I could give you a prize. It's blockchain. Do you understand? Public ledger. The same thing, yes. Do you see? Do you now see? Do you see why all this is happening now? Do you see? The answer to where no one can hide it. It's always there. You can always go in and access every single thing down to every little piece of data in detail every second. It's locked in a block. And that's it. Like, and they make it transparent where everyone can see. Anyone can go in and they can research the data and look at it openly at all times. Every transaction of where it went. And that's what happens right now. That's how the blockchain works. You can go in there and you can see wallets moving money all over the place. Is there privacy there? Well, it doesn't have the names of people, but when in these days and times when you can connect wallets to people rather easily, all that's moot, I guess. But we're in a bubble, okay? This sets the stage, and we knew this. This sets the stage for a collapse, right? Like for something to happen. Like a big event, a resetting event. To me, that's what's about to happen. I seen another chart. I don't know, I couldn't find it. Didn't know what I did with the link, but you can see off this image, this shows this line that goes around here, and it shows 1929, the Great Crash. And then it shows the Nifty 50 bubble, and then it shows the dot-com bubble, the housing bubble, the post-pandemic bubble, and then where we're at right now. And like there's no reasoning for it. Besides the fact that the Biden regime just trashed everything on the way out. And everything is with inflation and them killing everything. This is where we're at. Everything, all these prices up here, we're in bad shape in terms of all this, man. Like there hasn't even been a crisis, and we're here. Do you see what I'm saying? We're at a level where bubbles have happened that have affected the economy in the world. We're there. We're in one. Do you remember when everything bursted with the pandemic? How all the stocks came down and crashed? People took huge hits on their 401k and their savings. It's going to happen again. Enormously. I've been warning you about it. That was just like a dry run. The whole thing was a dry run. The whole thing was a beta test. Imagine when the real thing happens. Okay? You just remember this. Bitcoin dropped to like $4,000 a piece. So you should have been there buying the dip. Somebody was. Same with gold. All these things pulled back. Everything pulled back. The whole market tanked. And that's why everybody lost money. Is because somebody sold. They sold and they cashed out. it's about to happen again. The craziest thing is like these bubbles, the peaks in all this stuff, it's all earmarked by the event happening. Like, the event happened, right? Like, nothing has happened yet, so to speak, for our bubble to even call it. Like, just one big event is all it's going to take, and this thing's going to pop. And Trump kind of knew this. He knew that he was inheriting, he called it a turd of an economy. But, yeah, talk about tribulation coming. The stage is set for it to come down. It's an overheated market, if you ask me. When you look at markets and you look how everything's running, it's not nowhere how it used to be. You can ask any expert right now, and they'll tell you that pretty much our whole stock market is ran by like a top 15 index of businesses. And it can narrow it down to a top 10 of the juggernauts that most people, their Apples, their Microsofts, their Teslas, are investing in them. And the money in them alone, just the top 10, controls like a majority of the market. If you were to take down a good chunk of those businesses for like whatever and start tanking their stock, it would tear down the whole thing, is what they're saying. That we're in a weird moment because it used to be where you had 2, 3, 4, 500 different, Fortune 500 companies out there booming at the same time, and you can invest in anyone, and everyone was kind of equal out there. Some are higher, some are lower, but no, now it's a handful of juggernauts controlling the whole thing, and chances are, if anyone's got stock out there, you're like invested in one of them. The Apples and the Teslas, things like that. I'd watch out. We're in a bubble. I've warned about it many times. And this one right here, thank you, Swinster, for the coffees. Appreciate it to the fullest. He's saying that there's going to be a 40% market drop this year. What he calls a 2020. Okay? That there's going to be an event that is already in motion, and it's going to crash the market by 20%. It's going to do it rather quickly. And then it's going to be followed by a secondary crash of 20%. And it's going to wipe out everything. And he can explain it like this. He can say whatever, call it what he wants, but this is exactly what I've been telling you this whole time. I've warned you all throughout this past year that they're coming for all your money. It's in your retirement. That's where everyone's saving is. They want it. They want a piece of it. They want all of it. They want as much as they can get. They've already got everyone suckered into putting it all into the 401ks. The 401ks, how does it make you money? Through the stock market, in which they hold a majority of the stocks. And when the big dogs sell, they leave you holding the bag, and it's game over. They stay super rich. You are then poor, and it's what I call the great taking. It's about to happen. You have the Great Depression, but this is literally the great taking. They're literally going to take everyone's money, and they're going to liquidate them. That is exactly what he's saying here. It's going to happen in 2 rounds. It's going to happen rather quickly, and when the market goes and there's triggers put into place, they're going to tell the whole public that the market's froze. Everything's stopped. You can't trade, can't do nothing. It stops you from doing anything. But the big dogs will get theirs through. It's all gimmick. It's all game. They'll get them through, and they'll cash out when everything goes back live. It'll already be super tanked, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And that's the name of the game. By then, it's too late. They done took your whole life savings. They took your whole retirement. This is going to be everybody out there. It's going to be everybody. Do you see? I've warned you and warned you and warned you and warned you. And salutes to those that made moves. I had cats that were cashed out their 401ks, went and bought land, bought all this stuff, got ready. Salutes to you. The remnant out there making moves. rather than lose it. And some of them are saying, look, I know what you're talking about. Like, I did take a hit on that last one, and it's not happening again. It's not happening again. So it's just good to know that some people wise out there. They can see kind of what's coming here, and they're not. I mean, it's okay to have something in a 401k, but like I wouldn't have all my eggs in one basket, right? Like, be prepared with the knowledge that you have now that if it happens and it gets hit, you can afford to take that hit. Hopefully that's like a quarter of like your retirement, a third or something like that. It's not everything. Hopefully you've got money in gold and silver and, things like that. Things that I've been telling you to get since 2017. Gold has tripled since then, And silver's going to have its heyday. It's going to have a monster explosion here at any time. But my fear is, and always has been, is that moment is going to be coupled with the downfall of the dollar, of the United States. This huge event that's going to happen. It's going to be tied into that. It's going to be a direct response to that. So it's not going to be some, pop the bottle celebration thing. Everything's going to be in ruins around us when this happens, more than likely. Don't get me wrong. Gold and silver have been on a tear. They've been on a continuous grind upward. And the Trump administration, the last time around, it made moves during the administration. I expect it to do the same thing this time. I don't see it stopping at all, ever, at this point. I mean, I told you by 2030, it should easily be like a $20,000 gold. But that's also after a series of events along the way, which are not good. It's all going to happen on Trump's watch. I was shown it in a vision even before he was elected, and it's on record. It's coming. Monty says, like he says, XRP be the last one standing. Hey, when they're going to use it, like we know they are, and we always have. That's why people have invested in it. But I don't know. What's that say? You knew that something was going to be used for the beast system and you invested on it to make money on it? I passed. Plenty of other coins out there and projects to make money on and to shill and to do all these other things. I'm not going to do the one that I know that they're going to use as the beast system and be proud of it and make, nah. Not me. No, right? Right? But is that going to be it? No, it's going to be BTC. No, it could be any of them. It can be Trump coin. I don't think it's going to be in any of them, to be honest with you. That's why it's just I've been down this road with all of them, right? That, this and that, and what is it morally right to do this and that? Well, look, it's all blockchain. It's all ledger, right? And I've tried to explain this since 2017. It's the beast blockchain, okay? That's the biggest warning. They're going to track everything and they're going to take away your privacy and your freedom. Okay? Up in your face. This is all of them. All of them. It's like, it doesn't matter the flavor, the name, or any of that. Like, it's all of them. They're all doing the same thing. So that's a problem when you want to stay free. Now, the whole reason something like XRP or anything like that's going to be brought up in the system is because Trump signed an executive order doing away with the CBDC. Again, I said it before, it's like throwing him a bone to chew on, because with one hand, he says, we're going to do away with the CBDC. And with the other hand, he's ramming Trump coin down their throat. Blockchain, WorldCoin, even a Milani coin. I mean, they made billions off of it so far. They've made billions. Like, it's crazy because, like, in the same type of thing, like Malay down in Argentina, they were just trying to burn him on Libra coin and this and that. It's if they're trying to burn him on that, imagine what they could turn around and try to do to Trump and say to Trump on this. But who's going to do that? Who's there going to say that or do that? Yeah. Doge, I doubt it. Get out of here. Doge is named after a freaking cryptocurrency. People tell me XRP is going to be the one, but yeah, Doge and stole the show. Anyone can play their part. But again, I see something beyond that. I see something like that we haven't seen yet, like coming. Like it's just a name, right? It's all it is. It's all the same type of technologies, but it's just different names. So it's really all it is. It's just branding in a different name. Some products like Ethereum, like Solana, they are actually products. When you talk about cryptocurrency, you can create new coins off of them. Do you understand? They are something that can be used. It's real. Trump coin is just a meme. Can't use it for nothing. Has no utility. Can't launch other projects off of it or anything like that. No. It's just a meme. But that's okay, because it doesn't matter at this point. People will dump billions into these coins just on a meme. And that's what Doge is. Doge is just a meme. It's the first meme, like main meme coin. And the master shiller has shilled it every step of the way, and that's Elon. He has shilled Doge every freaking step of the way for years and years and years. He's been well known for it. That's why it's not a surprise that he called this whole thing Doge. This whole crypto thing and blockchain thing, the whole thing is being implemented right in front of your face is my point. It's not, and I've warned about this since 2017. And look, not all technology is bad. It's not. But when you have bad people running the show, it is and can be. And even if good people came along and implemented and put things in place like blockchain, bad people could come along afterwards very easily or at any moment and use it for bad. And there's nothing good about taking your privacy and your freedom away. There just isn't. You should always have an option of a fiat currency, coins, cash, things like that. But the objective here is to get everybody, especially the youth, overwhelmingly used to using digital currency, which is working and they're doing it. And they won't even have to fight with anyone. They can wait us out a generation. Look, he just quit printing pennies to save money. Next is going to be nickels. It's going to be everything. Because it all costs double or more, double to triple to make that currency than it's even worth. And it's true. It's a true thing. So they're just going to do away with it completely. And that's exactly what he's done. He's already begun it. It's begun. This whole transformation is beginning right in front of your face. So it's black magic to the fullest when a man can say with one hand, look, no CBDC. And then like the whole crowd's like, yes, sir, and bow down. And then over here he's thinking, look here, I present to you Trump coin. And they're like, oh, no, you should go buy it. And then they all dump their money into it and then lose it. And they all come back over here with their red hats on, like, MAGA. And I'm just like, dude, John, thank you for the coffee. Like, this is getting ridiculous. Bones Jones says it costs 16 cents to make a nickel. I don't know if that's legit or not there. I was looking at the data. It didn't give me a price point, but it told me just the amounts, what it cost for the materials. I did the whole story on the penny, and it mentioned in it the nickel as well. That wait till they get wind of the nickel. So yeah, 16 cents a nickel, 16 cents. So you're talking, what is that? That's triple right there. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that sounds about right. From what they were saying, that's crazy. A nickel costs 16 cents to make. Then, if you just go with that. I mean, they've got valid points here, okay? And yeah, some things do need to be definitely overhauled. But I told you earlier, the answer to all this is blockchain. That's what got me into this whole conversation. The whole thing, the answer to all this corruption is blockchain. You mark my words, that's what it's going to be. That's the plan. Problem, reaction, solution. Same old song and dance. It's easy to see from 1,000 yards out at this point, 1,000 miles out. This is it. Blockchain will be the answer to all this corruption, to everything. Do you understand? The beast blockchain that I've warned you about since 2017 is about to be implemented and installed. It will be the answer to all this. And the people will just take it, I guess. They won't ask, like, who's going to go to jail for this or nothing. Or, like, I don't get it. Are they that docile? Are they that dishonest? This is getting pathetic and sickening. And like you can fool yourself all day long, but man, you ain't fooling God. I think so. All these people, like, I don't even know if they believe in God. They say Jesus this and that, but like, and they'll pray for you and this. I don't even think they do. I think they're the type that don't even stop to take time to make the prayer. They just say it. And I'm sick of that type. Bunch of fakes. Just use it all. Use it all, man. It's pathetic, man. Fakes out there. This place is so full of evil and fakes. That's one thing I can't say. Well, son, what did you learn in this life? I learned that you filled this place full of demons. That's for real. Not only in the flesh, but in the spiritual form. And we know that, the jinn, to test us. But man, this place is just... I don't know. What did you expect it to be in the end time? Huh? In the end days? Paradise? Well, I won't be choosing to come back into a life like this again. Hopefully I'm earning my way into a better one. In the meantime, some argue that we were created as a slave race. Just for labor and so they could harvest energy off of us and all these other things. But we're about to get replaced. It's happening now by robots and AI. They're not going to need us in a lot of those places. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. It's going to have to take a nasty event to get them Deagle numbers everyone keeps bringing up. It's going to take a crazy event. I don't know. That itself could rock everything. You wouldn't have to blame nothing else. Just do the bird flu thing and it's done. You get everything in one thing. You rock the market, the dollar gets rocked, everything comes crashing down, everything gets locked down. Everyone is forced to have to take the mark. It's the power play. It's the one I dread the most. It's the one I've spent the past 4 or 5 years of my life preparing for, where everyone else has done whatever. I've taken it that serious. That's it. More than an asteroid striking, an EMP hitting, planes hitting buildings, anything like that. Nope. They just beta tested for years. Lockdown of this entire freaking planet. They didn't do it for nothing. Some people were so short, memoried. They just forget about it. Like, oh, whoopee, we're back to party. And like, it's like, no. Nobody put these evil tyrants in jail. Your Gentile Messiah just had the one crook Gates at Mar-a-Lago eating with him, talking about making future money off these jabs. You people are just... It's sickening. Too much winning, right? They got you. They got you right where they want you. And it's scary. And see people put more faith in a man here in the flesh than they even do of any religious belief. It's insane, and you wonder why people run around calling someone an antichrist, or many of them. And all that's up for debate and debatable. Whoever emailed me about the Dajjal thing, Muslim, and this and that, yeah, I get it. Everybody's got their different interpretations and things like that. All I can tell you is what I'm seeing here in real time, and tell you the facts of the situation. It ain't good. We're lined up for some crazy stuff. Anyhow, top of the list here to watch out for is the Beast blockchain coming your way. And it's not just going to be, it's not an American thing. They've been doing this for a while. Why do you think people were so concerned about a CBDC to begin with? Because they had we didn't caught wind of the plan here. Europe didn't care. Europe and all these other places, they just don't care. They don't care if people, they're just doing it different. They're doing it more totalitarian. And they're collapsing Europe. If you don't know, most people don't keep up with Europe and what's going on there with the economy and everything else, but it's collapsing. It's coming down. And they're doing this on purpose. This is a sign. If Japan goes, its market goes, and even Asia's, all of Asia and everything else, America's, all these come down in one collapse. Well, there's your reset. They're all in a bubble state. I just showed you all that we're in a crazy bubble state. And the EU, what's the answer? Look, you right here. A CBDC. They need a permanent CBDC. So that's their answer here. And whether the people rise up to stop it or not, I don't know. We saw the people of Africa, one of those countries, rise up and they stopped it. Because they seen it for what it was. They were going to tax their every move and like everything they do. And they were like, no, we're not doing it. And they rejected it. EU, it looks like it's coming fast. Gold, though, is where it's at. Gold, silver. I say this every show. Takes me back to the whole Fort Knox thing. Like, Elon, if you're going to bring these things up and you're going to say them, be prepared to do it. Like, who's stopping you? Like, why don't you just go there live streaming and, like, then show the whole world that, the lady manager at the door or whatever is, like, not letting you in or whatever. And call it out. Like, show it. Like, just get this thing over with already. Because you can't even begin to start talking about using something like the gold that's in there to back our currency or anything like that unless you know it's there. So we got to cross that bridge. Hopefully there's no tunnel that's been dug to it and like some of these... Anything could happen at this point, right? All right, let me shift gears. Let me jump into some other breaking news, so to speak, some historical breaking news. We have the very first Pharaoh's tomb found in Egypt since Tutankhamun's. So this is a pretty big find. You don't see this every day. It was back in the 1920s when they found Tutankhamun's. This is the first time they found a king since. And they knew because they busted into the chamber. And when they got into the chamber has a blue ceiling with like stars and everything on it. And that's what they did strictly for kings. But they said that chamber had signs of flooding and that it looked like a lot of the items were taken out to like maybe a secondary chamber. And they got an idea on where that may be. And they say if that's the case, then it's full of treasure. It's full of... So, they've hinted at that. And they said they found this in a place, this royal tomb, they found it in a location that was in an area that they weren't really expecting. But as we get more information on this as to what they find, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, you just don't hear about that all the time. And even when they find things, they don't release information until they choose to. All right, let's move on to some other news here. I thought this was pretty crazy. A woman robs TD Bank for more than $60,000 cash with a painted water gun. They obviously knew it was a fake, but just went ahead with the demands. She had her face covered here, as you can see, but she walked out of there with 2 handfuls, big stacks of cash. And she walked right on out with it. Will they catch her? I don't know. But seeming that they can see right through that mask with their AI technology and everything else, because they showed us that. She didn't stand a chance. Sarah Brascom, 39. Yep. So, yeah, well, didn't work out for him. And these days, if you try to rob somewhere, they've got the technology to catch you. Okay? Not only can the AI make you out in this instance, but I'm going to take you back to something that they've had for years now. A bank got robbed in LA. The LAPD and their equipment and everything that they got, the technology that they got, the detectives, were able to go into their system of the city that oversees the city. They have a real-time system. It's like Timu or TiVo, whatever it is, where they can go rewind back in real time, which is crazy. So they can zoom in to the police station right where they were at, and they could demonstrate that, like, look, this is us pulling into the parking lot here early. They could rewind it, and they could show them walking into the place. So what they did is they went to the bank, they got robbed, and they, reversed the robber the moment he got to the door. And they did all this through satellite and all this other stuff. Crystal clear HD imagery. Able to keep zooming and zoomed in right on it. And every big city has this. They're watching everything like a hawk. So they just kept rewinding. And the guy got into the vehicle, and then they rewinded. The car went right on back to his house. They tracked it right across the right back to his house. That way. In real time. They are watching everyone like a hawk from the skies in real time. And they busted that guy. It was like a decade ago. If they busted that guy then, that way, that easy. You trust me that every major city has got this, where they can zoom in. Most major cities have got to have this. That was a mind blower, because it just showed you right there that you're never going to get away with it. You not like any normal way. Not when they can do that. There's no way. And the days of bank robbing are about to be done anyway. As soon as this conversion happens to fully digital, there's going to be no need to go to a bank. There's going to be nothing to give you. No cash, no coins, no nothing. Nothing to take there to deposit or nothing. Nope. So, that too would get wiped out. If there is any little spots, it's going to be automated, overseen by AI. All those jobs are going to get wiped out along with it. But since people don't want to get up and protest anything because there's too much winning going on, these things get pushed right on down. Here's another crazy one. A Jewish Miami man randomly starts shooting at 2 Israeli people that he apparently thought were Palestinians. He thought he killed them both. He seemed proud of it. Look at him smiling in his mugshot. He was pretty adamant. Like, they were Palestinians, man, so I had to kill them. Like, it's like, dude, like, you know you're not in Israel, right? Like, you do know you're in, like, Miami. Like, right? He was just, the way the mindset is, it's like, no, it's like, he did nothing wrong. Like, it's like, dude, like, he ended up shooting 2 Israelis. They weren't even Palestinians. And they were pissed off, too, about it. Like, what the? Obviously, they get shot. He shot at the vehicle 17 times, unprovoked. He thought he killed him. It only hit him once. Hit one person one time in the shoulder. That's just nutty right there. So, yeah. Just unprovoked, jumped out because of the way they looked, saw them in traffic. He thought that they were Palestinians and they were Israelis. It was nuts. Well, here's one. FBI Houston comes out saying that they have arrested students that were planning a mass casualty event against a school. 2 students arrested today for planning this mass casualty attack against Memorial High School. Their name's not given because they're teens here. They were in the planning stages of the attack. If it was something like this bad, like, he said they received information yesterday that 2 underage teenagers from the Houston area were plotting a mass casualty attack at a local school. So they went in and arrested them and took them down. You would think that if that's the case, they're treated like adults. Some names should be given. They just said they thwarted it. They don't go over any other details here. According to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, the individuals involved included a student from Willis High School as well as a student from Spring Branch ISD. Both students are said to be in custody. And it is developing. So, interesting that they, most of the time when I'm mentioning the FBI, it's staged events now. With everything shifting and changing right now with the Trump administration, it's going to be interesting to see how much of this stage stuff continues or how much really switches up here in this and that, because we know the world is a stage and all this, but they're going to have to come through, though, with some valid stuff, some valid changes here. Kash Patel, I think this he's got another, one last hearing or something before he's confirmed or something like that. Right? Pretty much he's in there. I don't see what's going to stop it. I seen a clip. Some dude yelled at Trump, and and it was just some odd off-the-wall clip. It's older. He asked Trump, he's like, Mr. President, what's your secret weapon? And Trump's already walking away, heading for some doors, and he stops, and he turns around. He looks at him, and he goes, cash. He turns around and walks the other way, and I'm like, what? So it's like they've had this picked, a whole thing for Kash Patel to take this position for a long while. We'll see what happens. I know Christopher Wray was corrupt as could be. He's out of here. He's gone. See ya. They need to be going after him. That's what they need to do. He'd come out and tell me all this stuff like, dude, come on. Somebody's got to hang for this stuff. Going to come out and tell you all these things have happened and no one's going to go to jail. I mean, give me a break. People are sitting there like on social media over on X like, well, I heard. They're waiting for just the right people to get in place for Kash to get in there. And then they're going to start rounding everybody up. And I'm like, who told you that? Q? Man, you drank the Kool-Aid, didn't you? Some of us have been here for a long time. And we're still waiting for Hillary to go to president. What do you know about that? Hop in line. Act like they're going to round people, do something. Get out of here. Again, Hillary was within feet of him at his inauguration. Again, the criminal Bill Gates was having dinner with him at Mar-a-Lago. Where you guys at on that? Mr. Warp Speed or Mr. Let's go in and clean them all out. Huh? Where you on all that? On the Beast blockchain, all of it, huh? Crickets. You ain't got nothing on that. Because you know it is what it is. It's all brought to you by your Gentile Messiah. It's never been so clear who these cats are. Okay? Delta and their CEO will not reveal the identity of the pilots that were involved in the Toronto crash. This is kind of suspect. You know, like, here, I'm going to play what is the clearest footage seen. I don't think I had this angle last time. This shows the plane come in, and it's kind of odd, man. It's like a hard landing for sure. And it does a roll here. You'll see here.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, 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 no.
Back it up, run it one more time.
5, 2, 3, I can take a minute. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, 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 no. Tower, you seeing this airplane just crashing?
I gotta say, I mean, they're all lucky, man, to be alive. I mean, that's a crash landing. They hit hard, like smacked on the belly. As soon as that wing hit the ground, it's over. It's that wing is where all the fuel is, but it did a lot of black smoking. And not like Fireball, which was good. You know, so check this one out. People are getting pissed off about what's going on out here because they think that there's overreach, and people see someone like Elon Musk as this being, well, not elected. And he's not. And they're like, okay, you have all this money, you got all this power, but you're not elected to do these things. No, he's selected. That's true. And it all is. This is a big charade, man. But he's pissing off some people. So he's doing some things, right? It's supposed to be positive. But people are now threatening him like they were threatening Trump, so to speak. And we saw what they did with Trump and his ear piercing. That whole thing. They keep telegraphing something happening to Elon, and he's up to security. I wonder if there's some kind of event lingering around. Well, we've got stuff happening like this. A Tesla dealership shot up in Oregon. And these are like, you got your staged events and then you got real events. These have the feel of like a real drive-by. Like somebody's pissed off at him in Tesla and the whole thing, and like they're just lighting it up. This is the second time it's happened in a month. So just saying, you know, when your places are getting drive-bys on them, people ain't happy. You know, and you got to take that serious. If you're someone like Elon, you can't even go to this plant and show up and talk to people and even stand outside the front and all that. Nah, you have to have like full-blown security, watching everything around you. Can't step out anywhere in the open because of somebody wants you like this. And there's clips of other people out there, like, they were flipping out saying that this one guy was calling for the assassinations of them. And they blow some of these things up, I gotta say, because I seen the clip that they were talking about, and the guy was like, it's someone for time for someone to step up and do what they gotta do. And he never said go kill him, never said shoot him, he never said nothing like that. But they insinuated it as that. And I don't know, these days I guess you're gonna, I don't know. Just, you have to be smart about things, that's for sure. And let me play this clip. This is a bit shocking. This is of a senator today when they were in there on the House floor. Governor Delbert Hosemann. While they're standing there, this is Mississippi State Senate. He just like falls over. It reminds me a lot of what we were seeing before with those that were jabbed and just falling out. I don't know if that's the case here, but a pretty crazy event here nonetheless here.
Each of these has several more.
Dilbert.
Senator Johnson for a motion to recess. So moved. All in favor say aye. No.
I mean, in this situation, like, seconds count to save someone's life. And, right? The guy stops at the microphone to, like, pause the session. It's like, okay, obviously the session's paused. Dude just dropped out. I mean, did you really have to stop at the mic? And dude, it's like, that is just, I don't know what to say there. But I don't know what caused this. He's recovering. And we're just going to have to wait and see what they come out and say officially here with that. But could have been one of many things. But I don't want to speculate here until we start to see more and get some more information. All right, here's one. We have J6ers that are out, been freed by Trump administration, all that. And, rightfully so. There were some guys that got thrown in there that I didn't want to see go to jail forever. Even if I wasn't best friends with any of them or anything like that. I don't want to see someone have to go into a cell for the next couple decades and, like, throw their whole life away. Doesn't mean I trust them, all of them. I mean, trust is earned anyway. But some of these characters out here are like, look, I'm free. I'm going to all these places where Trump and them are, and they're finding out that they're getting rejected, and they don't quite know why. And I guess they thought that, since Trump freed them, that they'd be treated like rock stars everywhere that they went. I'd say, well, at least respected. Here in this clip, it looks like it's not the case. I'm just going to play the beginning of this clip, and this guy's getting kicked out. And I'll let him explain it here. This is a 4-hour stream. I'm just going to start it down here at the beginning. Get a refresh on it.
Hey guys, right now, my name's Jake Lang. This is Cynthia from CPAC. She's one of the managers here. They're telling me right now I am not allowed to stay at CPAC. They are kicking January Sixers out of CPAC live. We are right now live on the Gateway Pundit on Blessed News. This is Cynthia right here. This woman is telling me that my credentials have been removed. I did 900 days of solitary confinement. I was just released from the DC Gulag 29 days ago with a presidential pardon. Excuse me. And you're removing my credentials from CPAC. After I just bought a booth, 22 tickets I bought for all my Jan 6 brothers. This is abhorrent. This is horrible. We should not be being treated like this. This is horrible. Jan 6ers are being kicked out of CPAC with no explanation, no reason. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars to fly Jan 6ers, destitute people across the country to be here. How can
Sir, I'm just talking to you. I'm not talking about
if
Jan
you guys
Sixers.
can either put your hands on me or get the police here, but we are live right now with thousands of people watching. Why am I being kicked out of CPAC? Why have my credentials been removed?
CPAC just decided that they don't want you here for whatever reason.
Okay.
If you want to contact CPAC via email or phone, you can do so.
Who has made that decision, and why aren't they here telling me exactly why my
I
credentials
am
have
the
been?
person that is in charge of letting you know. This is, and I have not said anybody else cannot be here. Letting you know that we do not have our credentials for you today. So
Okay.
I have told you.
Why? Why did my credentials get
I'm
removed?
telling you what I can tell you, and I'm telling you that I do not have a credential for you today, and I appreciate you coming. And again, your booth is welcome.
Okay, so that gives you a taste of the situation and what's going on here. This guy, and again, this is a 4-hour clip. Basically, this covers the basis of it, that he's getting kicked out and he didn't get a valid reason, which is pretty shady. I'll say here though, if the guy spent tens of thousands of dollars, he's ordered all these booths for other people and stuff, he should get a refund. You can't just take the man's money and then tell him he can't come in. That's robbery, stealing from him. Tens of thousands of dollars he spent, like dang, like really, like he must have it like that. But for whatever reason, he got kicked out. I seen Joe Biggs was in line trying to get his credentials to CPAC and all this, and it's like, man, I've been there and done that, all these stupid events, and yeah, you got to have your credentials, and you've got to like put in for them in advance, and they can do this stuff to you. They can yank them. They can say that no, we're not going to accept them because we did it. We covered the RNC. It was Cleveland. We had credentials to be able to get up in all kinds of different places. Had them hanging around our necks. And we put it in advance. Had to go through the alphabet gangs and get cleared and let them know who we are. Had to do all that stuff. Just to be able to go up there and report with cameras like what's really going on. And to show everybody what's really going on. So when we were in Cleveland, we were going through, all these different areas, running around doing what we do. And we got to this one spot, where they had like all the I don't know, I just felt like club members is what it seemed like. It felt like we're in the building and like all of a sudden they were like, nope, you can't go in. Nope, you can't go in. It's like, what? It's like, we got credentials to do this. And no sooner than we couldn't go in, Cenk Uygur and Alex Jones were in there, and they get into the staged event. They get into it was a fake fight, acting like they were rumbling around. He was doing what he always does. He causes a scene to create a story, and we knew it. And it was just too much that we get shut down at the door and told we're not allowed in there. And like within minutes, that happens. And I was staged 100%. They didn't want no one else around. And you see, when you've been doing this as long as I have, you see what they do with this crap, man. You roll up to these places like Ferguson or Cleveland, other places, and they'll create little stories, as I call it, out of thin air, just to get views and all this other crap and sell their male vitality. It's ridiculous. All those grifters just use the movement to make money off of them. Just like they did last time around, selling their t-shirts, Hillary for prison. They made millions off that. You know that, right? Where are those people now? Are they helping the community? Are they doing any good? Nope. Just took the money and ran. That's what I see all kinds of people doing. These fake patriots out here using the movement. Selling their product to them. That's all they care about. And then trying to live life like they're a rock star or something. When it should be the opposite. It should not be about money when it comes to this job, when it comes to truth in the game and fighting it out here, especially if you're engaging with these people. Fight the good fight, not just keep your mouth shut and rub elbows and try to be buddy with everybody. Like, bring things up, bring things to the forefront, press issues, but I don't know. I guess it takes a true patriot. Um, I don't know. I've seen so many fakes in the game again. This place is just depressing and disgusting. I truly only believe like a Most High Messiah is going to bring any change to this. There are no good billionaires. There are no good nothing. They kill them all. Anyone that even attempts to, they assassinate to kill them all. You should know this by now. All the rest is staged and fake crap. You should know that too by now. Air Force One. It is obviously the main transportation for the President of the United States. Delta, Boeing, all these different places connected to the industry have been under fire as of late. And Trump says that Boeing is a lost cause. So what he's doing is he's telling Elon, look, I'm giving you the job of making me a brand new, faster, safer Air Force One and getting it to me quick. So you're basically talking about a luxury jet that's laced with all the best technology that you can imagine. A command center, to be able to run from the air, all that. But yeah, and we heard last time that Trump was using decoys. A lot of different decoys, and people didn't know it, running decoy flights around the country. People think he was here and there, and he wasn't. They even think he was like, in the air, and he wasn't. He was like in the beast on the ground, in a low part. They wouldn't go into full details about exactly how they were moving him around, but they had, if it wasn't in the air, it was on the ground, or under it. But, Trump fires 6,000 IRS workers. So, guillotine coming down on all these jobs. We knew it would happen. He was saying he was going to send a bunch of them to the border anyway. But he's targeting the employees that were hired by the Biden regime. I don't know. They hired 88,000. 6,000 still leaves like over 80,000. Like, that seems like an illusion to me. Again, sleight of hand black magic. They'll take, I just fired 6,000's gone, but there's still 80,000 sitting there. Like, that's just how I am. I'm a realist about it. It's a start. I give them that, but like, you better be taking them and their guns that they got down to the border. Was that all just talk? Like, how much of all this stuff that they're saying is just going to be talk and then, in real deal? Like, okay, so, here we've got Trump ordering that all Biden-era U.S. attorneys get fired immediately. So this is kind of cleaning house from this perspective, taking out different sectors. So, yeah. When these big moves are made and they clean out certain areas. As I told you last time, they went in and they wiped out all these jobs. And it's not just like people on the left that are affected. You've seen people that even voted for Trump putting out videos saying, look, I just lost my job and I'm screwed. And I don't know how I'm going to feed my family and all this other stuff because they just took all of our jobs. And it's like, okay, reality starts to set in that, like, okay, that wasn't a far left-leaning Biden supporter or nothing. That's actually somebody that voted for Trump and just got put in the street. But again, the Trumpers on social media, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to see that. There's just too much winning going on. It's disgusting. And that winning is at the tune of $4.7 trillion. That is untraceable. I've seen numbers where it was 4.9 as well. $5 trillion. You're talking untraceable into a black hole. Just up, you can't trace it. Untrackable. Don't know where it went. This is such a big law. This is like, dude, like, I wasn't born yesterday. Like, I don't know. I guess some people are just, when I say these things, they fully think that Doge can go in to all these places within days and go through all the files and through everything and do a thorough investigation. They just think AI, AI, AI. It's sickening. That's all they can say. It's AI, AI. Ever heard AI? They just regurgitate what they've seen. So many just regurgitate what they've seen. It's like no free thinking or thought. It's the most disgusting thing. I can't take much more of it. Because it's from one topic to the next. And I see it like on a repeated, constant basis now. And I see what it is driving it. Black magic. And I'm just going to keep calling it for what it is. And again, they tell you we're into the T's now. We're beyond B's, billions. We're into the trillions. We're going to come up on like quintillions. They tell you that 5 trillion's missing into a black hole, but like no one is going to go to jail for it, right? This has got to be the most absurd thing. If you're an investigator, a judge, a lawyer, anyone out there that cares, like you're like, no, hold on a second. Think you're seeking the truth for those memberships. The investigator in me has been sitting here waiting the whole time, like, okay, who are we going after? Like, it was billions and billions and Social Security and 140-year-olds making payments. Like, who's in charge of that? Somebody was in charge of all that. Like, you're not even saying nothing. And like, you continue to not say nothing. You're deflecting. And that's criminal. Like, I see nothing but criminal acts. Again, the only thing I can call this for what it is. It's black magic being used. They can come out and tell you that there's no gold in Fort Knox. Is anybody going to do anything? I bet you not. They have stolen the spirit from this country. They've broken it. All the patriots over there magging out. Not doing nothing. Blinded. You ain't got nobody coming to the rescue, man. I tell you, the vaults are empty. Ain't no one going to protest. Nothing. They will not protest nothing. I'll take it back. There are actually protests rising. And I got to say this. They're a lot larger than they ever were before. Way larger. Wonder what this summer's going to end up being like. Seeing these growing protests, protesting not only Trump, but Doge and Elon, this whole thing. I just see like the potential for staged events at these outings. I just showed you they're doing drive-bys at Tesla's headquarters and everything else. So here's one. Shocking. Doge uncovers over 4 million of government credit cards. Okay? Linked to 90 million unique transactions. Let me tell you something. The investigator in me is screaming, like, give me this one. Like, they ain't hide names from me here now. Like, you did a good job. You're just not saying no names all the way up to this point, but, like, this one's mine. Like, credit cards, like, they're done. We've got them. Well, no. Again, 4.6 million active credit cards traced back to even the department, the DOJ. But you're going to tell me you don't know who had possession of these credit cards? Someone's lying or covering now. Cave, thank you for the coffee. Do you understand me? Someone is covering. Now, someone is covering. And Elon's doing it. He is presenting all these big numbers to everybody. Look what we found. We found this, we found this, we found this. But again, no names are being given. The investigator in me is screaming every single time they say this, who's going down? Who's going down? And all I keep seeing is a brand new building they're walking into. It's Social Security. It's this. It's government credit cards. This time it's the Treasury. Not a name's mentioned. That's a huge red flag, and it tells me that there's an illusion of something happening here. You're divulging all this information, but yet, again, no criminal to pin this on. I just don't buy it. I don't accept it. I won't accept it. I refuse to. Small-minded, dumbass people can. Okay? I'm not. And they can all get lost in it, and they will. Those would be the same people that go on the beast system because they didn't have a choice and all these other excuses. But that's their problem. Something ain't right about this. Again, all these transactions, you even know the department, like right here, or where all the money was spent, the agencies, the departments, and you're telling me you don't have a breakdown of who had them credit cards? Give me some list here. All right, because we're going to start pulling names on all these agencies and who was there then, if they don't want to do it. You see, we shouldn't even have to say this or do this. This means they're not being truthful and honest. They are covering. We shouldn't even have to be going this route. Okay? They should be doing this. We should have full-blown names of everyone that had a credit card linked to it. If not, like, give me it. Like, I'll go to gas stations. I'll start pulling footage. But none of that's happening. None of that's happening. It's a huge illusion. This place is done. What's this? This is an example of Medicare fraud and just what they do in one normal investigation that took months and months and months and months and months, because that is how an investigation is conducted. Before they came out saying how much money and all this other stuff. People want to... AI is so intelligent to tell you all this stuff so quick, everyone would say, but it can't give you a single name of any of the person that the card's name was even in. Who was authorized to spend it. Like, who gave the go for that? Like, who signed off on it? Like, those are criminal charges, and they won't say it. They're deflecting. Again, man, you won't hear this topic being brought up by none of their shills or none of their people on X. They won't even talk about it. They'll just keep on going on about winning and all this other crap. It's garbage. They won't talk about the real deal stuff. Like, none of the criminals are going to jail, but they never talk about the hard stuff. They just sit over there and they tweet out about winning, brown-nosing each other, retweeting each other in their circles all day. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. And it's disgusting at this point because you've proven you're not even real patriots. You're fakes. Totally. Because you don't even take on the real issues. The real fraud. You turn a cheek to it every time. Whether it's on warp speed, the blockchain, we'll clean it out. Well, all of it. You sit over in a little circle jerk over there. That's all you care about. It's all you care about. It's your publicity. Rubbing it and being cool. Like it's high school or something again. Like it's ridiculous. I see former cops out there doing all kinds of other crap. All these MAGA fools. It's sickening and pathetic. They ain't no white knight. They ain't saving nobody. They're making people out there that don't have a pair feel better is all they're doing. They're liking the tweets. Oh, look at him tweeting all this. I'm going to like it. I'm going to like it. I'm going to like it. They ain't ever going to do nothing in real life. They said it's after tweeting out crap. Again, I don't see no criminals going to jail. When I start seeing that, then I'll start saying, you know what? Maybe there's some real change going on. Until I see somebody going to prison for real, like Hillary Bill, like one of the bad guy elites, upper echelons, it's all a show. Let me throw this out there too. They've got Doge imposters running around all over the place, going into places trying to get city records. You imagine this? Dude's acting like big balls. I mean, how many places can big balls go to in a day or in a week and anything else? How much can just 4 or 5 individuals do? I mean, that's who they told us. That's who they told us Doge was. That he employed 4 or 5 of these active college students to do it. One of them's name was Big Balls, leading it, and that's Doge. That's what they told us. And you think that they've magically gone in all these places and done all this stuff and decades worth of information, and to say AI did it all. Like, give me a break. There's like, we can't provide the name of any of the criminals. Well, I got one right here. I got a criminal. He's a criminal in my book. Omaha. What you want to call him. I haven't liked this guy from Jump Street. Figured him out pretty quick. His history kind of said a lot about him. Old heroin head. Brainworm. RFK. Yeah, I'm clowning him. Because I can. Because he's a piece of crap. That is a deceiver at the highest level. There's a few of them out there, man, that will straight lie to your face, and not ever think twice about it. Like, they won't blink, miss a beat. He is deception at its finest. Now, I'm going to play this clip. I've mentioned it many times. I've played it once before, but Dr. Jane here has a compilation here. And I just wanted to play it again because this is a man that sat there saying that the COVID jab was the deadliest thing ever made. He repeatedly said it. He ran the whole thing. He got everybody's attention and support by doing that, by playing that card, going down that route, right? Then when he goes before Congress to get approved, he totally flips the script and says that he will back the whole schedule for kids and everything. Total deception is what this man is, right here. Clear as day, right here.
This is the deadliest vaccine ever made. And I'll just say about Operation Warp Speed, it was an extraordinary accomplishment, showed demonstration of leadership by President Trump. This is the deadliest vaccine ever made. I recommend that children follow the CDC schedule, and I will support the CDC schedule when I get it. This is the deadliest vaccine ever made.
Yeah. That's how much of a scam he is. Yeah. But people out there just fall in love with him. Like, just the fact that his last name's Kennedy. That's how dumb some people are. And just for that reason. And blindly follow him because of that. Yeah, just whatever. I mean, there's just a bunch of idiots out there. It's the truth of it. It's the truth of it. We are a remnant. Truly. And the crowd that cares, very small these days. And a shout outs to all you guys. A lot of you guys listening, I know care. But when you walk out there into the world, all these people that have been jabbed, wearing masks, or pushing this crap, or just believing in all these lies. And again, the most frustrating part to me is that they don't want to talk about the biggest ticket items here. Whether it's his, whatever we bring up, from blockchain to clearing out Gaza to whatever, to warp speed, they turn a cheek. They don't even want to show up. Act like they didn't hear it, and that's ridiculous. But I just showed you. This guy is in power now. Mr. Maha, he's got his position. They got him in there. It was all planned this way. They fooled most of the masses. They got him in there. That's all it was about. I'll mention this in the future, I'm sure, many times. When I say, remember the night I played the clip of this guy flip-flopping right there. And he did. It's not hard to find. And he will again. If he'll do this, if he'll do that right there, just imagine the bold-faced lies that he'll put on you. Seen him in a clip with Dr. Oz and Russell Brand. And it's just like, where you guys at? The Masonic retreat? Like, satanic. So, I told you bird flu. This says it's a rerun of the COVID playbook, but it's not really. It's not really. It's everything that we called it for. Like, we lived through the beta test to get ready so they could be fully prepared for if they actually released something. They would be prepared. And this is it. There's no other thing that they've wargamed as much as bird flu. They've admitted it as much on camera, that there's no other thing out there. So this would be it. And we already know it's going to hammer everything. Eggs, meats, all the staples, everything. When real bodies are dropped, people are this is different. I'm telling you, man. You're not going to want to leave the house. It's just that simple. You're not going to want to come in contact with no one. And you risk your life if you do. This is totally different. You didn't have to worry about that last time. You know? You're sitting in the doctor's office, they're looking at everybody. Everybody's looking at each other. Everybody's got their stupid masks on and this and that. Or you're in the hospital because you have to have a procedure. You have to wear it in the hospital, right? Everyone's sitting there looking. But, like, that will never happen again. The bird flu happens and bodies are dropped. You're not sitting in a waiting room with a bunch of sick people that are about to kill you. A bunch of cold realities are going to set in that you live through alive. But it's going to be too late. I said it before, it will be too late. When people really figure it out, when they live through, so many people are going to die. That's the only way they get decoy numbers, is if they put this thing in motion. I feel like we've postponed it. And be honest, we have that power, and I feel we did so. I feel like Bill Gates even admitted so. I felt like their plan was to have it launched like right now, 2025, and I feel like we've kicked it back a hair. I don't know the exact window, but even him coming out saying that, you guys bought yourself basically 4 years, it's still happening on Trump's watch, but that's basically what he said. He came out and basically said we bought a little bit of time, which is crazy. And where we at here? Come on, top of the hour. All right, let me speak on Putin here, talking about meeting with Trump. I'm not going to play this. I'll play the one clip here. You have to read the screen here because I believe he's speaking in Russian. But he's saying that it would be a pleasure. I don't see what's stopping this meeting from their end. It looks like it should go through and through. As soon as Trump's ready to get on a plane and go meet him. They're talking about doing this in Saudi Arabia or something like that. And they've also said that Putin can come to the U.S. and Trump can come to Russia. By all accounts, minus the thing in Ukraine going down, they should have a good relationship, and there should never be even a talk of war here on this world stage, but it is a world stage.
Это должно быть подготовлено. Я с удовольствием встречусь с Дональдом. Мы давно очень не виделись. И у нас нет никаких близких отношений, но все-таки предыдущие годы, за 4 года работы, когда он был президентом, мы встречались и ровно очень обсуждали наши межгосударственные отношения. Я с удовольствием с ним встречусь сегодня. Я думаю, что он тоже. Это было видно по характеру нашего телефонного разговора. Но мы находимся в таком положении, что недостаточно, чтобы чай, кофе попить, посидеть, поговорить о будущем. Нужно добиться того, чтобы наши команды подготовили вопросы чрезвычайно важные как для США, так и для России, в том числе не только...
Yeah, well, most people can't make out what he's saying there anyway, but he's basically saying that he looks forward to this, that he worked well with Trump last time, and he looks to continue that. And yeah, when it comes to RFK, my last note on that is, like, to me, he's a disgrace to the name and what it stands for. Of course, Kennedy is an Illuminati cult, one of the top 12 family names. So all of them come from that line, right? But there was something different about JFK and RFK. They fought against the beast. They went against this same power structure that has got us into the mess we're in now, and they called it out. They weren't perfect, but they went against it. They didn't have to. They could have rode the Camelot lifestyle, sellout lifestyle, selling the people out, and just lived until the sunset. That is what Junior's doing here. It's a disgrace. Like, if I was them, I'd be rolling over in the grave. Like, we got our heads blown off and got assassinated fighting the beast, and yet you're just towing the line for it. That's how I see it. I'd be pissed. Think about it. But no, most people out there before, well, no, he's with Trump. There's the good team. It's the all-star team. And it's like, hey, you fall for that. You must be new here. Some of us have been here a long time. It's not our first time around the block. It's not our first rodeo, and we know what's going on, whether you're smart enough to see it or not. Thank you for the coffee, Parker. In the comment. It looks like they're turning on Zelensky. Finally, get him out of here. I'm sick of this satanic, crappy actor out there, whatever you want to call it. This guy, has been controlling Ukraine the entire time. Now it looks like it's really coming down to an end because Trump don't like him. And Trump says that he's a little dictator. And he is. And he's trying to revive this whole talk of Russian disinformation and trying to say that Trump and Russia are in bed together. And that's like, dude, like, Trump's like done with him. So what he doesn't like is that he's getting cut out of the picture. And the U.S. and Russia both are saying there needs to be a new election. So they're agreeing the guy that's making it difficult now is Zelensky. And what's a new election do? It cuts him out guaranteed. That's just the nice way of saying it. Like, you're done. And he did away with it. He declared martial law. So now he's becoming a problem even for what the hand that's supposed to be feeding him the whole time. All this money, Trump wanted to go there and get like $500 billion in precious metals in return. Can you believe that? Like, that wasn't part of the original deal at all with them. Okay, they're like, hold on, no, that was never nothing. Like, no one ever mentioned this before, but this is a whole different precedent. And see how everything can change, how they can approach different things around the globe differently. Just with a different president in power, he can shift. Yeah. And Trump's sitting here explaining. I'm going to play a little clip here of Trump talking about this whole thing. Here we go.
The other thing that it's been bothering me for a long time, because I solved the problem with NATO. They paid hundreds of billions of dollars into the funds of NATO when I said you got to pay, because the United States was paying for European countries, and then they take advantage of us on trade. But I've seen it. Look, they have to pay. They have to find out, where is the money going to? We have, I believe, President Zelensky said last week that he doesn't know where half of the money is that we gave him. Well, we gave them, I believe, $350 billion. But let's say it's something less than that, but it's a lot. And we have to equalize with Europe, because Europe has given us given a very much smaller percentage than that. I think Europe has given $100 billion, and we've given, let's say, 300 plus. And it's more important for them than it is for us. We have an ocean in between, and they don't. But where is all the money that's been given? Where is it going? And I've never seen an accounting of it. We give hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't see any accounting. So I want to see peace. Look, you know why I want? Because I don't want all these people killed anymore. I'm looking at people that are being killed, and they're Russian and Ukrainian people, but they're people. Doesn't matter where they're from on the whole planet. And I think I have the power to end this war. And I think it's going very well. But today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land, everything, almost all of the land, and no people would have been killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down. But they chose not to do it that way. And President Biden, in all fairness, he doesn't have a clue. What he was so bad for this. He was so bad, so pathetic, so sad. But with all of that being said, look, it is what it is. When I left, there was no chance that this could have happened. But it happened because we had incompetent leadership at many different levels. But when you see what's taken place in Ukraine with millions of people killed, including the soldiers, millions of people killed, a big percentage of their cities knocked down to the ground. I don't know how anybody even lives there. You know, when they say they took a poll and Zelensky's at 4%, who's living there? You know, I mean, it's hard to believe that people live there.
Okay, so you can see he doesn't hear his tone on Zelensky there. And basically, I'm not going to play this clip, but this is Ukrainian basically telling us to F off, that we're bastards, that they don't owe us a single cent. If you look at it from his perspective, you can see where the United States used them and came in there. And now they're turning around saying, you owe us all this money. And they're like, no, that was not part of the deal. But that's what Trump is. That's what Trump does. He goes in and strong arms them. And that's what he's doing. Here's a big problem with what Trump wants. Ukraine doesn't have the precious metals that he thinks they have, or whatever. They're like, no, they don't have 500 billion worth of rare earth metals. They don't. They've got a couple scant mines of just a couple things, and that is it. And they checked all the indexes on it, and they ran everything on it. They don't have nothing. They don't have nothing. They said it would be impossible to fulfill all this anyway. They say Ukraine has no significant rare earth deposits other than small scandium mines. Okay? They say that in this whole thing that Ukraine was able, as if by magic, to produce 20% of the world's rare earths. It would equal to about $3 billion annually. To reach the $500 billion mooted by Trump, the U.S. would need to secure 150 plus years of Ukrainian output. And they said that's nonsense. So, whether he was just using it as leverage or what, I don't know, but well, they don't have nothing worth any large sum of uranium. If they do, if they're not saying it here, not even mentioning it. They mentioned scandium, and they went through. It says right here they went through all the archives of everything. All right, don't exit out. Europe's not going to be able to do this. What's it say? It has to overhaul everything. Europe's coming down. And they're not going to take on Russia. I tell you all the time, the world is a stage. What I tell you last time, the war goes on, but who's over here buying record amounts of fertilizer off of Russia? Europe. Who, NATO, Europe, big bad boogeyman Russia over there, who depends on Russia to survive every winter. Europe. Natural gas, everything to heat all of Europe, to keep them alive. They depend on Russia. If they went into full-blown war, Russia don't need to drop a nuke ever. Just needs to cut off the pipelines and shut off the shipments. They're done. That's it. And they know that they killed millions. They pulled that in the winter. We're on the stage, man. Sitting here buying stuff, sending stuff back and forth, but got all the populace fooled so they can send them over to get murdered, mauled on the battlefield. It's ridiculous. I also want to mention this. China has created what they're calling is like the world's largest underground facility. It's large enough to hold 10 Pentagons. And they're saying that they are getting ready to do something huge. All the signs are there. They're built up. If they're going underground like this, it's kind of an ominous sign. Massive, massive facility in several different places. This main one is just outside of Beijing, but they also have a huge underground submarine base off the islands, under the ocean, underground, that they're expanding on as well. So these things are real. You can't see them, but they're there. Try to go to Google Earth and look at some of the images, and you can see the structures under the water. And speaking of satellite imagery, it's showing us that Israel now occupies 7 different outposts in Syria. So, who's making out like a bandit out of this whole thing? Since Jolani and all them swooped down, who's the ones that since that night when they went in and took the Golan Heights and celebrated, who's been setting up shop? Israel. And who hasn't come into any conversation with Jolani? Who's benefited from all this? Usually that's your prime suspect. Yep. And an update on our borders here, real quick to end this. The northern border seems to be a huge problem at this point. It's gone like overlooked, and I've told you a lot of different stories and incidences where they're flooding across. I think most recently it was Romanians for some reason. They're coming across, and in Maine, they were ditching their IDs. They'd come across and they ditched their IDs, and people were finding them on the farms. They were emailing me like, look, we're finding these IDs on our properties. These people are coming across in large numbers, and we don't know where they're going. They're slipping into the shadows. It just keeps happening. So the southern border may be like crickets right now, and down like 90% traffic and all this stuff, which is great. But like the northern border is wide open, and no one's talking about it. No one's been talking about it much. And they're just like getting right on through. Coyotes are just like, screw it, we'll go through the northern border. It'll cost you guys a little bit more. Take a boat out and around, get into Canada, or fly them in however they're doing it. Yep. And right now, we've got U.S. Special Forces training in Mexico, right, to do operations. They're in Mexico, with the military there. And they're training to go and strike these cartels, which are like not far away. They're right there. Like huge operations are about to go down. And then you've got the CIA flying spy drones, the MQ-9s, over the region. So this is serious. They only do these things when like a major operation's about to go down. They don't waste the money to do it for nothing. Like they're doing this. Like it's about to go down. We're going to see big headlines of them pounding away at these regions. And I've got one last one here. This is on a secession movement. Last time I talked about Indiana taking in some of these counties from Illinois, or Illinois completely breaking away from the Chicago area. Like the whole state breaking away and just leaving Chicago and the surrounding area to its own entity. That's what they were talking about. Well, out west, The Greater Idaho Project has been mentioned for a long time now, and it's gaining more and more steam. So these talks of changing state boundaries and all that are very real, and they're picking up more and more steam. And just as soon as one area gets it done and they reshape everything, others, I guarantee, are going to surge forward. All across the country, there's little spots like this where, like, just like here with Oregon, all of Southern Oregon would go with Idaho because they're not as liberal as, say, Northern Oregon or whatever. However they want to put it. So this extends Idaho all the way out to the ocean, which would be huge. And it would be like a conservative stronghold, so to speak. It'd be the one spot going all the way out to the ocean out there that their leftist overran policies wouldn't be in control. And a ton of people welcome that. So, well, for what it's worth, that's what they're doing. It's gaining ground. One of these days, we may be like, yo, it's official. It's happening. But we'll see. We got battles we're fighting every day out there, man. I hope you guys have been staying warm. It's been, well, I gotta say, it is extremely cold. Just get to these next couple days, right? Like, I literally, like, it burnt my last pieces of wood. It's 18 here right now, and I'm so sick of the cold. I'm telling you. Ready for warmer weather. I tell you now, it's probably like in the 30s in here or something stupid. It's so cold. But hopefully I'm not stuck on the mountain like last time for 3 weeks. This weather system is cold, but it wasn't, the ice and everything didn't hit us. Doesn't seem like it's going to be as bad as last time. But people around here were still reeling from the flooding. So we got hit, boom, boom, boom. They literally, like, the flakes were coming down. And we had people down here that had been without electric since this past Saturday. And we're needing, to get electric, and, like, the power company's like, we can't get across the flooded creek to get to this power pole. It's going to be blah, blah, blah. And like, no, we've got a snowstorm coming. And if you guys don't get it, we're going to have no power for days to come again. It's just been like a relentlessly crazy situation there. So, prayers going out for everyone out there dealing with this chaos. I know it's not fun. So, and, trying to think if there's anything else here. For the folks that have been asking me about another conference, a meetup, or something like that, I seem to get it in waves. Quite a few people have been asking about it. I don't have nothing on the schedule right now. I just don't know if this year I'll have one or not. We'll see where things go. All I can say is I'll update if anything changes up. But if I did, it'd probably be in a different style or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of things have to change big time for that to happen. Unfortunately, I don't have the means to pull off all those events the way that I would like. I'd love to be able to go around and meet people in different states and all that, but just not possible at the moment here. Much love. I see you guys out there. Thank you for the comments, Robert. Thank you to everybody out there, everybody that shares the show, gets it out there where I can't reach, everyone that fights the fight, everyone that keeps it real. I thank you to the fullest. Thank you for all the super chats tonight, the underground memberships. For those that got them, welcome to the underground. For the coffees. The support means more than you guys know. any PayPals or any of the crypto links get hit. I appreciate it to the fullest, all through and through. I don't know. Interesting times, man. I'm just thankful to be able to go day to day, to be able to reach you guys, to spread the Most High's message, to get truth out there, to fight the good fight. That's what counts. So, thankful for that. Thankful for all of you, for the remnant. And it's got me thinking here. Like, we need something to represent ourselves here in all this. And I was thinking about it, like launching something with all this crypto stuff that's going down. Like, at this point, if you don't see the downside of it, of just what bad people can do with even a good technology, I don't know what else to say. It's been since 2017 trying to warn people, but there's also a silver lining to that. There's an opportunity for people to make money. It wasn't always like it is now. You can make money off of selling crypto, tax-free American projects, and I'll get more into that later. But it's never been like that. And it's never been with gold and silver, man. The gold and silver is just like, it's a huge blessing there, man. You got something that you can trade and not get taxed on. There's very few things out there that they're not wanting to tax, so can't stress it enough. I'd make moves there if you can. And I'd learn something about shorting in this game. Because you'll gain. I feel that that's the last chance that anyone's going to have right now to get wealth. Okay? Like big time, like a big, large scale opportunities that anyone could get into. I feel like getting into the gold, like long-term gold and silver, long holding it. That's what I would be getting into that for long-term wealth, for the family to hold on to, for the value of wealth, and to pass on the family, or things like that, or for emergencies down the road, or for barter, or whatever. The gold and silver, you can't go wrong with there. But in the short term, if you want to make something throughout the chaos, the market's going to come down, okay? In even crypto, it's going to come down. Nothing lasts forever. If you know how to short, you can make money the whole way down. It's a beautiful thing. And it's different because gravity brings everything down. You know, someone has to go into a stock or a coin and buy to pump it. Okay, you have to have the money to pump it. It takes nothing, to sell. Selling's easier. So, and it happens more often. And things are more often in a bear market than in a bull market. So, all you got to do is slip into something sliding downhill and you're making money. Do you see? Do you see? I'm trying to give you tips and tricks to the game here. If there's one last way that riches are going to be made in this era of America as it's coming down, it's going to be in the final blow. It's going to be when they bring it down. While most people are getting everything taken, right? Because the big dogs are dumping in all their stocks. If you're shorting, that's the only chance that you got to make any money when the whole thing's coming down. It's the only way. It's the only way. But again, most people have not been taught that for a reason. For when they do this rug pull, they won't have many competitors out there. Most people are oblivious to it. But if you're one of the few that know how to do it, you can save your skin. Or not. Or you could miss it. It's going to be the last opportunity, I'm telling you. It's the great taking. And you either get a piece of the pie or you don't. That's it. And it comes and it goes and it's gone. Right? And like I was saying before, we create our own. Something that's, I don't know, that represents us. I just feel like it's needed. come up with a name, something that we can utilize. It's ours. This represents us, the remnant. Which love tacos. And all the pure bloods, you know, and all that. Anyhow, anyone's got any connections on that? Wants to get in anything serious about a project? Let me know. dabu7@yahoo.com. It's time. It's time we do something. We start to fight back. That's how I feel. If they want to use AI, let's use our own too. Let's train it. If they want to use bots on things, let's create our own. And I know it's possible. We started to do it years ago. Let's do our own. Let's fight back. That's all I know to do. Coffee coin. Well, maybe we'll have to do a poll on the name. We need to take it serious. Something for the people. But, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off on that note. Comes to an end here. I look to be back on Friday. Again, thank you, Parker, Cave, John, Sweetener, Brother Marginal, Julie, Enigma, everybody for the coffees, Deborah, all the love out there, the support. Again, appreciated to the fullest. Follow me on X for breaking news. And if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. Thank you, Eon. Much love. God bless, man. Legendary. For real. Much love, Susie Q. Deanne. MC. All y'all. Steve. Mayhem. Man, much love to all y'all. God bless. White, Humberto, J. Quinn, Juice, Pixie. Eon, much love.